gunchage o hage mi harsh gu inish nambo parang kyol goran yar hilo vaho sna hey ri ri hoidum nogu hilyo vaho Nambo parang kyol goran yar gubray lachyon parang bifia san langan ilo vaho na hey ri ri yohi hoidun dogu hilyo vaho Parang bifiat ang langan Serabachtan stuk Hanlu for yangar Hilo vaho Sna hey ri ri Hoirun nogu hilyo vaho Serabachtan stuk Halug for yangar av genan utre Hot mi hemot och jalag hilo vaho Sna hey ri ri yohi hoirun nogu hilyo vaho Gunchage o hage mi harsh gubray lachyon Parang bifian san langan hilo vaho Sna hey ri ri yohi hoirun nogu hilyo vaho Hilo vaho Sna hey ri ri yohi hoirun nogu hilyo vaho
Well, we have just heard the Dashing Rock Celtic Trio. I'm going to introduce everybody for you. To my right is David Cabral. Next to him is Betsy K. Judot.
Yes.
And next to her is Sarah McConiff. Welcome. Welcome back. Actually, this is a return for you to Quincy Access Television. I have actually interviewed you before here. You have played at a venue in the city, and I have recorded that. It's such a pleasure to have you back in the studio again.
Thank you.
We are very happy to be here. Anytime you want to invite us.
This might not be the last invitation.
We hope not.
Just talk about the trio in general, maybe how you guys all came together.
I think first and foremost, we're friends. So
Yeah.
that's an important component. In any kind of small ensemble, liking each other is, a big
Pretty
part of it. So we have a lot of fun together. But we are a Celtic music trio. Sometimes people, when they hear our name, Dashing Rock, they think rock band, but not so much rock music, but Celtic music, traditional Celtic music.
And Betsy, maybe just a little bit about your history with, before, I suppose, getting involved in this trio.
Yeah, so we all know each other originally from Fife and Drum Corps. We were all in a Fife and Drum Corps together. And then we were in a bigger sort of Celtic band. We live close together. And we really wanted to form a trio because we wanted to be able to practice a lot and to just spend a lot of time together. And we just had so many ideas kind of brewing in our head, that were perfect for a trio. So that's why we formed the trio. And we've been together now for a little over a year.
Yeah, about a year and a half.
Yeah, year and a half, and we're starting to get a lot of gigs.
Well, I was going to
really
say, that doesn't sound like a long time for the sound that you all have. I mean, it's tight, it's together, it's certainly listening to one another as you're performing on your own.
Well, we've played together in one aspect or another for, Sarah and I for 17 years, 17, 18, 19. Yeah. And so we're pretty in tune with each other. Like our mind meld is pretty strong. And Dave too. Like we played in 3 different groups together, and we can all tell when there's something on each other's mind.
Sure.
We're just very, very in tune to each other.
So Sarah, I'm going to ask kind of the process of, I guess, rehearsals and performance and what happens. I know David mentioned this earlier to me before you guys actually were playing. There is a time during the year, maybe it's more than once, where you kind of get together to learn new material.
The new music process is ongoing. It's really a creative process. One of us will have a set that we're thinking about. It's all Celtic and Scandi, and then we co-create. The person submits it as sort of like a 75% solution, and then we co-create and make it even better and orchestrate it and have a lot of fun. We are going to do a music camp, going to go out into the woods in a cabin for 4 days, because we have to create an entirely new repertoire. We decide we're going to do a Christmas program. So we're going to learn an entire new repertoire so that we can present it this December.
Yeah, there's been a lot of interest for a Celtic Christmas concert, so we're right there ready to go.
And interesting, especially nowadays where there are tons of distractions out there, to actually stop and go into seclusion as a trio and work on a repertoire, I think is sounds both exciting and likely needed.
You do. If you really want to orchestrate something, you have to immerse yourself. Otherwise, it takes months to create a whole new repertoire, and we need it.
Yeah.
This December.
Let's talk about the instrumentation. And I guess, Sarah, we'll start with you because you seem to be surrounded by multiple instruments.
My usual things are some whistles in different keys and a couple of a low whistle here and an Irish flute. And then my newest instrument is an accordion. Just decided I had to play that. And then we love the sound of drones and a wild thing. This is called a shruti box. and you can change what key, what chord you want to create. And then we wanted to get some excitement going, so we have a stomp box. They were having fun with that.
Almost a one-man band, one-woman band.
Sure
Well,
is.
there's one tune with the log cabin set. I'm playing like all of them. It's
Yeah,
hard.
and folks certainly experienced that, and I was in awe as I was back directing the musical portion. So certainly a lot going on. It all came together so well. It sounded fantastic. I want to mention, Betsy, your instrument, one of your instruments, a fiddle, of course, but
Yeah.
the nickel harp.
Yep, the nickel harp, it's a Swedish instrument. It's got 4 playable strings. There's different kinds of nickel harpas. This one happens to be a little non-standard. It's tuned like a fiddle. So it's got 4 strings on top that you play, and then underneath it has 12 strings that you don't play that just resonate as you play, and they're tuned chromatically. So it's really, and it's instead of touching the strings with your fingers, you touch buttons that are attached to like posts that actually stop off the strings. So it's a different approach, and it gives it a really resonant, echoey sound.
And Dave, of course, vocals, because we mentioned
Yeah.
vocals, guitar, and harp.
Right.
A
More the
harp.
traditional Celtic instruments, guitar and Celtic harp. The Celtic harps come in different sizes, but what makes it kind of more Celtic as opposed to a concert harp is the strings are a little closer together, the tension's a little bit lighter, and it has a more of a sparkly, kind of a bright sound to it.
The band has been busy. The trio has been busy. Talk about, I guess, reception when you're out there performing. I had the luxury of actually recording, as I had mentioned, one of your concerts not too long ago. But I looked at your schedule, and it's busy. So there are
Yeah.
folks, I guess, just waiting to hear you guys, maybe to hear you guys for a second or third time.
I think we've been very fortunate to be in kind of the right places at the right time and heard by the right people, and I think word is spreading.
Yeah. People love seeing all the instruments. We have a very informal approach too. We like to get a lot of conversation going with the audience, and that kind of makes everybody have fun.
It makes it more fun for us too.
Well, it was certainly fun for us
Yeah.
here at QATV. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for
Thank you.
coming into the studio, playing for us, and allowing us to chat.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so
Thanks.
much.
Thank you.